Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. Now, in today's video, I wanted to discuss for Capricorn rising or Capricorn sun, the planetary energies of 2025. I don't call this a horoscope because this video that I'm about to do doesn't substitute a meeting, a one-on-one meeting with an astrologer because everybody's natal chart is different, but it will give you a general idea of the things that you can expect for 2025. Now, as you all know, Saturn is your ruler. So that planet, when it goes retrograde, is the planet that most affects you. And I had done this worksheet for the main video that I did for 2025, which I will now try to apply on a more personal level for Capricorn. Now, I wanted to discuss what stationing is before we get started. From our viewpoint here on Earth, we see all the planets going direct or going forward. Then the planet stops or stations. And the degrees that it stations, for example, Mercury is going to go retrograde March 15th of 2025 at 9 degrees of Aries. So these degrees and these signs are going to get either extra benefits, extra goodies, extra lessons, extra opportunities, depending on the planet it is. All right. So having said that, now let's say that Mercury is going retrograde and it starts March 15th of 2025 at 9 degrees of Aries, and then it'll station at 9 degrees of Aries for a few days. And then it stops again on April 7th to go direct at 26 degrees of Pisces. So for those of you that have planets plus or minus 3 degrees, you can take it up to 5 degrees, but the orb is tight. Whether you have planets that are making aspects to this Mercury, and it would be, for example, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer at 9 degrees, either planets or your angles, the angles of your chart. The angles are the first house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house. Then you might get more messages. Let's say it's Venus and your Venus is at 10 degrees of Aries. Well, then you might get a message either from business perspective, like an ex-boss, or love, like an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, because Mercury is going to be talking to your natal Venus. Now, Mercury is going retrograde July 18th, 2025 at 15 degrees of Leo, and it will go direct August 11th at 4 degrees of Leo, and it will go retrograde again November 9th at 6 degrees of Sag, and then it'll go direct November 29th of 2025 at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So the same thing applies, all right? The same rules apply. Any planet that you have in your natal chart that this Mercury aspects, you'll get a message, an email, a text message, something. Now, Venus. Venus is going to go retrograde, March 2nd of 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries, and it will go direct at April 13th, 2025 at 24 degrees of Pisces. So you can see here that the people that have from 9 degrees, well, actually 6 degrees to 13 degrees, this Mercury and Venus is going to be acting pretty much at the same time. They're both going to go retrograde and the degrees are going to overlap. So People that have either angles or planets close to these degrees will get communication from a boss, an ex-lover, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, like a business partner, maybe something with business, because Mercury also rules business. So be mindful and see what happens between March and April. Now, Mars is going to go retrograde December 6th of 2024 at 6 degrees of Leo, and it will turn direct February 24th of 2025 at 17 degrees of Cancer. For you, this Cancer, be careful with accidents in the home, Mars in the home. And then Mars in Leo would be, an argument with a boyfriend, an argument because it's Leo, it's the fifth house, natally, right? For you, more so Cancer is your seventh house. So careful with arguing with your spouse or your significant other, as well. Now, Jupiter goes retrograde October 10th of 2024 at 21 degrees of Gemini, and then it goes direct on February 24th of 2025 at 11 degrees of Gemini. So if you guys have any planets close to these degrees, plus or minus 3 degrees in Gemini, Sag, Pisces, or Virgo, Jupiter can give you extra blessings, extra opportunities, extra goodies, because you all know that Venus and Jupiter are the benefics of the zodiac, and Mars and Saturn are the ones that give you issues, difficulties, lessons, depending again on the nature of the planet and how it's affecting your natal chart. Now, Saturn goes retrograde, and here we go. This is your ruler. July 13th of 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries, and then it goes direct November 28th of 2025 at 25 degrees of Pisces, which happens to be the same as the first Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde. So something is happening with this part of your chart that you might get a lesson, you might get a challenge or something, because it's a different time, but it will reactivate this Mercury and Venus retrograde. And for you, it's important because it's your chart ruler. In the monthly reports, I plan to do a when I do the monthly reports, I'll tell you what the shadow period is, or the dates that it stations and at the degrees, because Mercury will station for like 2-3 days. Venus will do it for like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 days, something like that. But as the planets, the bigger the planet, then the longer they station, right? So I'll make another, like with the monthlies, I'll let you guys know. Now, Uranus retrograde September 2nd of 2024 at 27 degrees of Taurus. And then it goes direct January 30th of 2025 at 23 degrees of Taurus. So here, you all know that the demon star Algol is at 26 degrees of Taurus. So if you have, applying this to your natal chart, if you have your moon in Taurus close to these degrees, be careful with something suddenly happening in your house. It could be, with one of your parents, because it's Taurus, it's the moon, right? So it's your family. Also, if you have Mercury aspecting this Uranus in a square or an opposition, be careful with a car accident. Mars, if it's aspecting Mars, then be careful with an accident. If it's in the fourth house, then it's in your home, you could fall, you could slip, so make sure you have no leaks. And no wires, no cable stuff sticking out, etc. If it's in your sixth house, then it will happen at work, or it may happen at work. If it's in the fifth house, it's your firstborn or your children. Maybe they can slip doing sports or something like that. So that's how you apply this information. Now, Neptune is going to go retrograde July 4th of 2025 at 2 degrees of Aries, and it will go direct December 10th of 2025 at 29 degrees of Pisces. Now, Sheet, there's a fixed star called Sheet, and it sits around 29 degrees of Pisces. So next summer, if you have booked a beach vacation or a cruise, I would suggest that maybe you get some travel insurance. Or if you are asked to evacuate from where you are vacationing, be one of the first ones to go, because she is not a good star. It is dangerous in the danger in the water, right? So hurricanes will be very forceful. There are chances of big floods, tsunamis, storms that just bring a lot of water. So be mindful of that. Now, Pluto goes retrograde May 4th of 2025 at 3 degrees of Aquarius, and then it turns direct October 14th of 2025 at 1 degree of Aquarius, and it will stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Capricorn is done with housing Pluto in its sign, thank God. So we wish the Aquarians a lot of luck. Now, Capricorn, rising or Capricorn sun. You are one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult sign in the zodiac, according to the degree theory. You are the most ambitious sign, and you are one of the leaders of the zodiac. Again, according to the degree theory, the other two are Aries, Leo, and then you are the third one. But Capricorn is the one with the most ambitions. And you can suffer a lot in your life, but you have the patience, endurance, perseverance to succeed. You make great role models, but you can also, some Capricorns can be ruthless as well in order to get to the top. I wouldn't suggest you do that because Saturn won't reward you. You'll talk about karma. But anyway, you also like to mentor people as well. So Saturn is the great teacher. Why don't you try to teach everything that you have learned in your life to someone younger than you, someone that doesn't have the experience that you do. So as Capricorns, you guys can withstand a lot of pain and you endure a lot of life lessons. Now, Neptune is going to ingress in your fourth house because it's going into Aries. Neptune is creativity, art, artistic talents. So when we apply it to the fourth house, well, you're going to beautify your home. You're going to redecorate it, buy new furniture, new art, paintings, because Neptune rules paintings. So you could be buying new artwork to decorate your home. You can also purchase a home or an apartment nearby water, or maybe even waterfront. Or it can, now, if Neptune is not well aspected, this means that your house can get flooded or your apartment can get flooded. So make sure that the pipes in your home are good. And this Neptune transit is going to happen for the next 14 years. So this will, it's not just for next year. It'll go for a little while. Now, Saturn is in your fourth house, and this one, look, because my dog wants to come up. Oh, yeah. Saturn is in the fourth house. This is one, and this is one of the most difficult transits because it's on an angle, right? So it can be that you acquire more responsibility for a parent, or you become a caregiver. You can purchase a home and then also feel like the weight of paying the mortgage every month because now you have debt. But remember, it's in my opinion, it's preferable to own a home rather than a woman from your past may return because Saturn rules the past, it rules time. So I don't know if it's in love or maybe it's an aunt or somebody from the family that's coming back to the fourth house. So you can also renovate your home as well. If your natal moon aspects to Saturn, careful with your emotions because this means that you can get depressed. Saturn rules depression. Now, if this Saturn aspects your natal Mercury, careful with your thoughts as well, because they can become negative or pessimistic. You can look at the world in a very different, not with rose-colored glasses, let's put it that way. So, just be mindful of your thoughts. Now for good news, right? If Jupiter enters your seventh house because it enters Cancer, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, and this is great. This is wonderful. This means that you can meet someone in a long-term relationship because seventh house rules long-term relationships in either love or business. You can have a new business partner, or you can meet someone who is marriage potential. And if you're getting married in 2025 with this Jupiter in the seventh house, that's a great thumbs up for you. Now, if you are already married, the relationship gets better. It gets much better. And it can also indicate that your spouse is going to be having more opportunities come up. So it will be good for your spouse as well. Now, the lunar nodes are switching from Aries and Libra. So you're going to get some relief, and they're going to go into Pisces and Virgo. So they're going into your third and your ninth house. So this is one of the easiest positions for the transits of the nodes, and it's for the next 18 months. The third house deals with learning, short trips, extended family like your aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, your neighborhood, your neighbors, um, transportation, obviously. So you can buy a new car, a new computer, a new phone. If the North Node is aspecting Mercury or Mars in your natal chart, be careful with a car accident because those are things the nodes bring things that are fated, but just drive a little bit more carefully. Um, in bad aspects, you can obviously have a car accident or have car repairs, or your computer can crash, or your phone can die, something of that nature. Let's hope it's just a communication with the extended family or your siblings. Now, South Node is going into the ninth house, and this deals with university studies, religion, your philosophy in life, your beliefs, legal matters as well. So, long distance trips too. Yeah, yeah. Usually, by the time that the eclipse happens, because it's a South Node, it's a it's something that's finishing up. So you could be graduating from the university, or you can be dropping out of the university, or changing majors completely, concluding a long distance trip, or maybe a legal matter comes to a close. Now, finally, Pluto is going to enter your second house because Pluto is going into Aquarius. So here we need to speak about money, possessions, what we value. The way you make money will change. You can get another job or make more money, but you can also lose your job. I just wanted to point that out. Now, you can become very wealthy with Pluto in the second, or you can go bankrupt. Remember, the Pluto is a planet of transformation. It's the death and rebirth. So, save money just in case, it never hurts anyway. Um, since the natural ruler of the second house is Venus, or if your Pluto or this Pluto is aspecting your natal Venus, like it's making a trine, a sextile, then you can meet somebody that you become totally head over heels for this person. So it's like a kind of like a fatal attraction type of thing. And it's going to be very intense. So keep that in mind so you don't scare the other person. You got to back off a little bit. Okay. But yeah, it can be a really very passionate type of love affair or love, doesn't have to be an affair. But okay, Capricorn, so this is what I see for 2025 for you. Many blessings. I wish you the best. I hope that everything works out to your favor. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to somebody, another Capricorn maybe, that they might want to know what 2025 is all about. As always, if you would like a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to AMAastrology. And like I said, I wish you the best for 2025 and always. I'll see you in the next video.